there's always been somebody, and you have to be open to that. And you're always going to find somebody else, somebody new along the way. You just have to make sure you're trying to learn from everybody that you come into contact with.
What kind of mentors have you had over the years that helped you do like the podcast or transition to TV from radio?
A lot, many, and I think that you have to be open to that. I will also say, admittedly and sheepishly, that there are times where I'm very headstrong and I'm like, nope, that's what I'm going to go do. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, honestly, that's how I got to where I am. It's how I got my first job, against the advice of some. And I don't look back at it with regret. I look at it as like, well, there was a reason that I was pushing that. There was a reason that I was going for that dream. And if you want to microanalyze it, sure, there are plenty of little things along the way where you could have done something differently. But the advisors and the coaches along the way are so critical. And I've also never been hesitant to reach out and find that person, right? The very, very first person I would say is my buddy Mark. And Mark used to do a show on the radio station that I always wanted to go to work for, the one I ended up working for, the one I ended up working for 20 years. And Mark did the nighttime show on KPLZ Seattle. And I would listen to him and just like, wow, this guy's so good. And I would mimic him. And I would talk to myself and try to be like him. And I would call him in the days when people called radio stations and let the phone ring for hours, and you would sit on hold. And then the moment you finally got through, I might have 15 seconds with him, or I might end up having a 3-minute phone call with him. But I was that little radio listener geek that would call him and talk with him. Here in 2020, to this day, Mark and I are still really, really great friends. And it was because Mark acknowledged to me the fact that I called him and I said, I really want to do what you're doing. And I really did want to do what he was doing. So Mark has been a mentor for me along the way, even in millions of times he doesn't even know about. But it was because of that, of him acknowledging me and saying, hey, let's hear what you got. And I would try to 101.5 KPLZ, I'm Scott Carty and he's like, pretty good. Keep going, man. He never said no, right? He was a collaborative guy. And so he's been a huge mentor. And then along the way through college, I had a great broadcast professor, Glenn Johnson. I have had people through my career like Kent Phillips, and I've had different folks if I start naming names, it's going to go forever, but there's always been somebody, and you have to be open to that. And you're always going to find somebody else, somebody new along the way. You just have to make sure you're trying to learn from everybody that you come into contact with.